There's a huge trial starting this week, and here's everything you need to know about it. This case revolves around Anna Walshe. She was 39 years old. She's a Serbian-born real estate executive, mom of 3 young boys, splitting her time between Cohasset, Massachusetts, and Washington, D.C. for her job at Tishman Speyer. Her husband is Brian Walshe, and he is the one that's on trial. He's now 50 years old, and at the time that she vanished, he was on house arrest and awaiting sentencing in a federal case over selling fake Andy Warhol paintings. Now, they married in 2016 and lived in Cohasset with their 3 sons. Then, on New Year's Eve of 2023, Anna and Brian hosted a friend for dinner at their home in Cohasset. The friend left around 1 or 1:30 in the morning on New Year's Day, and that is the last time she's seen. She's last seen in the early hours of January 1st, 2023 at home. She also tries calling her mom, sister, and a friend around that time, but none of them picked up. Brian's original story to police was that Anna left home early on January 1st for a work emergency in D.C. He tells investigators that she supposedly took a ride share to Boston's Logan Airport and flew out ahead of a previously scheduled January 3rd trip. So police check this and find that Anna never boarded any flight that day. Her debit and credit cards show no activity after January 1st. January 4th, a missing persons report is finally filed after Anna does not show up for work in D.C. Her employer, Tishman Speyer, can't reach her and calls Cohasset police. Brian also reports her missing that day, but worth noting is that the employer is actually the first one who alerted police. So there's your first red flag. Very quickly, Brian's story starts to fall apart. According to prosecutors and court records, Brian tells police that he stayed home on January 1st and only left the house on January 2nd to go buy snacks at CVS and Whole Foods and then take his kids out of the house. Well, investigators pulled surveillance and find that there is no footage of him at those stores. However, they do say that he was seen at a Home Depot and a big box store and spent several $100s on tarps, mops, buckets, a Tyvek suit, shoe covers, cleaning products, including ammonia and hydrogen peroxide, a hacksaw, and other tools. That leads to his first arrest. January 8th of 2023, Brian is arrested and charged with misleading a police investigation into Anna's disappearance. So this leads to a search warrant for the home where searches revealed that there was blood on the floor of their basement and a damaged bloody knife in the home. They also found the following searches on Brian's devices. Get a load of this. He literally searched on multiple devices, things like dismemberment and best ways to dispose of a body. How long before a body starts to smell? Hacksaw, best tool to dismember. 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to. Can you be charged with murder without a body? How to stop a body from decomposing. Best way to dispose of body parts after murder. And several searches about cleaning blood and removing DNA. Now, surveillance shows a man resembling Brian dumping heavy trash bags into dumpsters near his mother's apartment complex. When police later seize and search trash from a processing facility, they say that they found a hatchet, hacksaw, hammer, shears, a Tyvek suit, and cleaning supplies, a Prada purse, boots like the ones that Anna was last seen wearing, a COVID vaccination card with Anna's name on it, towels and rugs with apparent blood. DNA testing allegedly shows that Anna's DNA is on the hatchet, the hacksaw, and some items. Both Anna's and Brian's DNA are on that Tyvek suit. Anna's body has never been found, and much of the trash was reportedly incinerated before police could recover it. However, I think there's probably plenty enough evidence to convict this guy, but we'll see what ends up happening later this week. Now, as for a potential motive, prosecutors say that there were multiple pressures on Brian. Anna had around $2.7 million in life insurance with Brian as the beneficiary. Brian had already pleaded guilty in federal court to an art fraud scheme involving those fake Andy Warhol paintings and was awaiting sentencing while he was on house arrest. Prosecutors say Brian believed Anna was having an affair and that his mother hired a private investigator to follow her in late 2022. And Anna allegedly told a friend in December of 2022 that she was preparing to leave Brian and expected that he'd be going to prison for the fraud case. There's also a prior 2014 report to DC police where Anna said Brian had threatened to kill her, although no charges ever came out of that. Now, the twist came in 2025 when Brian did plead guilty to a few things, but not murder. On November 18th, just before his murder trial, Brian changed his plea on 2 of the charges against him. He pleaded guilty to misleading police and improperly conveying or disposing of a human body. He also admits that he dismembered Anna and dumped her remains, which he says were later incinerated in the trash system. He still pleads not guilty to murder, despite the searches where he says, how do you dispose of a body after murder? But anyway, he still pleads not guilty to murder, so the murder charge goes to trial this week. His defense is suggesting that Anna actually died of natural but unexplained causes, and that when he tried to wake her up, she rolled off the bed, and that he chose to hide her body because he was afraid nobody would believe him. And spoiler alert, nobody does.